New tonight, IMPD says disruptive and sometimes violent parties at short-term rental properties are a growing problem. Last month, a doorbell camera in Fountain Square caught dozens of people running from a rental home after an incident at one of those parties. Our Nico Panisi attended a community meeting tonight and tells us what people would like to see done.
Neighbors here in Fountain Square say short-term rental properties like Airbnb and Vrbo are a nuisance. They're urging city officials to do something about it.
It can't be a free-for-all, which it has been.
How do you maintain community in a sense of neighborhood?
It's noise, music, people in the street.
Indianapolis residents tell WRTV they're concerned about short-term rentals. Dozens gathered Wednesday to discuss recommended provisions for a potential city-county ordinance to address the issue, something that hits close to home for Fountain Square resident Dakota Palicki.
It's problematic when a lot of these properties end up getting used as party houses. And so on any given night, you might have, a normal Airbnb that's probably for a family of 3. Suddenly there's 90 people in there.
He's the co-founder of Castor, or the Coalition to Address Short-Term Rentals. Palicki says these properties can create issues with parking, vandalism, noise, and in extreme cases, even violence.
No resident of any neighborhood wants to live next to a place where that kind of threat to their livelihood is going to happen.
Just last month, a party at a short-term rental property on Indy's east side resulted in gunfire. And IMPD says it's becoming a trend in our city.
Try to avoid last-minute reservation for a one-night rental, especially on the weekend.
So what can be done?
Make a common sense city ordinance related to regulating short-term rentals.
Castor created a list of recommendations for City County Council to draft legislation. It includes things like requiring renters be at least 21 years of age, there be a 2-night minimum stay, and property owners must have a business permit from the state of Indiana to operate.
These are businesses, and I think all businesses have to have a permit. And so, to me, that would be a good first step. Get an ordinance in place so that we know who the owners are, that we can get a hold of them when there's a problem.
Old Southside resident Judith Essex hopes these restrictions will solve some of the housing issues in her neighborhood.
The ideal thing is to work with the owners so that we create a neighborhood that is good for everyone, one that protects their investment and then one that protects our neighborhood.
In Indianapolis, Nico Panisi, WRTV.
Castor has created a website for people to report concerns about short-term rental properties in your area. They're looking to identify nuisance properties, common problems among short-term rentals, and inform potential policy and enforcement efforts from the city and other stakeholders. They received 70 or 80 reports in just the past few months.